Hello everyone, Xeno What If here. Here to bring in part 3 of What If the Reds and Blues Encountered the Flood. Link down description of the fanfiction of this What If. Listen here YouTube. I do not own anything and this is not a scam. Terrible at stealth. Griff and the others had returned to Red Base, only to find Doc monitoring Donut after he'd fallen asleep. He doesn't have much time left. Usually this kind of development would take at least a week, but it took only a day for whatever this is to kill him. I'm really sorry. Simmons looked over at Donut. You did the best you could, Doc. That's the thing, I didn't. There really wasn't anything I could do. I wanted to save his life, but instead I ended up just lying to him as his life faded. Griff didn't know how he wanted to feel about this. On one hand, he never cared for Donut, and he'd only been here for less than a day. But on the other hand, Donut was another human, a comrade in this war. That should have meant something, but it didn't. Maybe Griff no longer had any feelings toward death after being in the Corps, but Donut was still another human being. Sarge seemed to be in the same boat. Griff couldn't see his face at all, but sometimes visors acted as faces. Most of the time, actually. It was ironic in a way. The helmets obscured their faces, but they said more than enough about what a person was thinking. Griff slowly stepped toward Donut. He saw his pained expression, even in his sleep. He didn't want to spend any more time around someone who would soon die, but he didn't feel like leaving Donut. Griff? Simmons asked. Griff sighed. What? We told him to go to the store, which was how he found the cave. This was our fault. Griff. No, it wasn't. He would have found the place anyways at some point. Of course he would have. Griff stormed out of the base, cursing under his breath. He didn't want to deal with this. Simmons had no idea what he was talking about. Griff. It was Simmons. Why did he follow him? What the fuck do you want? Simmons backed up slightly. Donut is dying, and you're trying to convince me it was our fault. Fuck you, Simmons. Fuck you. He didn't even matter, so why are you so bent on making me feel so goddamn guilty? Fuck you. Griff. I've heard enough. You think you have to take responsibility for everything, and now you're forcing that on me. Griff turned away. He sat down, his breath getting heavier. When he turned back around, and saw that Simmons was still standing there. God damn it, Simmons. Just leave me alone. Simmons nodded and stepped back inside, leaving Griff by himself as the sun dipped below the horizon. Church couldn't believe it. The flag was gone. Had Sarge taken it as well? How did he even manage that? As many questions Church had, they weren't important right now. What was important was getting the flag back. And Church knew exactly how. Blue Command. Come in, Blue Command. Our flag was stolen and we're going to need some backup. Could you send us someone who can help? A special operative, maybe. He requested. A private church, could you repeat that? Our flag is fucking gone, and we can't get it back on our own. We need backup. Pronto. Alright, we read you loud and clear, private church. We're sending in a nearby freelancer by the name of Tex. Rumors say she once beat an alien opponent to death with his own skull, so that should help you. Wait, what? Did this guy mean who Church thought he meant? If so, then why did he call her a freelancer? She was part of Special Forces. Wait, I must sign off now, but I can tell you that Tex will be arriving within the next few hours. The responder disconnected, leaving Church in confusion. What the fuck? Church simply stood, trying to process everything he'd been told. Tucker entered the room. What's the matter, Church? Tucker, I have some things I need to confess to you. And no, I don't love you. I fucking hate you. Now that you have mastered driving the M808 tank, let's move on to some more advanced functions. Clearly, Caboose had not mastered anything apart from driving into rocks and being completely stuck. No. Stop. I would like you to not be stuck. The tank continued driving forward into the rock, much to Caboose's frustration. Seriously, please stop. So, your girlfriend is actually an ex-girlfriend, and you lied to impress me? Tucker asked. Church felt as though he had made some big mistake, even though he knew how inconsequential it was. Yes. Dude, you know I wouldn't care about all that boring dating stuff. Did you at least bone? Church's shame was soon replaced with anger. You know what? I don't know why the fuck I tried to look cool in front of you. All you do is complain, you're a complete pervert, and you're the most incompetent person to be in a squad with. I actually fucking hate you, Tucker. Tucker looked confused and shocked. Is that really all you think of me? Not fucking cool. Church growled. I'm being cooler than you right now, that's for goddamn sure. I'm not bothering with this anymore. Stay here and do whatever the fuck you want. Tucker ran out of the base, assault rifle in hand. Whoa, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Church didn't get an answer. Not that he expected one for the most part. However, he was snapped out of his thoughts when a tank appeared in front of the base entrance. Wasn't it useless since no one could operate it? Who the hell's in that thing? Church called out. Help, I can't get out. That voice was the last Church expected. Caboose, what the hell are you doing in the tank? Sheila won't let me out. There were way too many problems going on right now. Way too many. Tucker sprinted across the canyon, each step bringing him closer to the flag. It didn't matter that Church was mad at him, and it didn't matter that he only had one magazine. He'd make it count, somehow. Church was right about some things. Tucker was completely incompetent, but even if he was, he hoped at least he'd be able to score one victory against the Reds. Tucker ducked next to the entrance to the base, wanting to avoid being seen. From what he saw, the Reds were all talking about something with this purple guy. But the orange who was driving the Warthog earlier. Nowhere to be found. You're terrible at stealth. What the hell do you want? Tucker rapidly turned in the direction of the sound. His question about the orange soldier was immediately answered. Griff sighed. Listen, I know you're a blue and all that, but I don't really care. Just go in and take it. It doesn't fucking matter anyways. Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. We just got a rookie and he's dead not even a week in, because I decided it would be a good idea to send him right over to what the fuck is that. Griff started shooting his pistol frantically at something, though Tucker couldn't see it at first. He aimed his assault rifle at the general area in which Griff was shooting, though he had no idea what he was supposed to look for. What the fuck is it? You're shooting at nothing, Tucker exclaimed. Wait for it, another will come after us soon. He wasn't wrong. Tucker saw something emerge from the cave. Lots of things. They looked like gross zombie spiders. Fucking run, dude. Tucker immediately ran inside of the base, with Griff right behind him. The two of them grabbed what little furniture there was in the base and covered up all entrances. Griff, what the hell are you doing? Asked Simmons. Donut was right. There were things in that cave. Sarge cocked his shotgun. Griff, you've been followed. Don't move, unless you want to get shot, which would actually be great. Sarge, there are much more important things at hand right now than this whole red versus blue thing. Griff responded. Yeah, like not getting killed by a ton of zombie spiders or whatever the fuck these things are. Tucker added. Sarge sighed. Fine. Flood shelter. Why didn't you tell me you could drive the tank, Caboose? We could have stopped the Reds from taking our flag in the first place. Church exclaimed. I didn't know at that time. And I was stuck on a rock. Church did not understand a single word that came out of his mouth. Please, explain how you got stuck on a rock. I have all the time in the world. Do you mean that sarcastically or literally? Caboose asked. Church sighed. I don't get paid enough for this. You're getting paid. ... What the actual fuck? Off in the distance, Church could barely see something coming from the cave. He was instantly reminded of his encounter inside it and immediately jumped onto the tank. Oh, shit. I know you have no idea what's going on, but fuck it, just go. I don't think I can drive very fast. I know, it's a tank, but Church just gave up. Some of the spider things were starting to get onto the tank, prompting Church to start shooting at them. Now Caboose was trying to escape. The scorpion was barely fast enough to escape the spiders, so that was a relief. Caboose, I can't believe I'm saying this, but we need to get to the Reds. Sarge didn't trust the blue in his base, but it was better than dealing with whatever was trying to get in. Tucker had described them as zombie spiders, even though they were undead spiders. Sarge had already told Simmons not to use Dungeons and Dragons terms in the military, and Tucker might need to be told that as well. Men, we're dealing with a threat like nothing we've ever seen. Make sure all entrances are completely covered, or else we may not survive much longer, he ordered. Dude, we've already covered every single one. There isn't a single piece of furniture left in here, Tucker pointed out. Sarge ignored this and proceeded to give out more orders. Sir. None of those made any sense, Griff told him. Even Simmons was skeptical. Yeah, I hate to admit it, but Griff is right. Where are we going to get a steamroller? As if on cue, a loud explosion could be heard just outside the base. Incredibly loud. Guys. He's waking up, but he has no pulse or awe. Sarge rushed into the room with Doc and Donut and could never have predicted what he saw. A root-like appendage had extruded from the private's neck, leaving his head tilted at an angle. From the base of the appendage protruded 3 antenna-like lengths with red frays on the ends, and he was covered in blood. Donut was letting out these ungodly roars as he attacked Doc. Sarge didn't want to have to kill a fellow soldier, but he knew what he had to do. Blam! What was once Donut fell to the ground as Sarge reloaded his shotgun. However, after the commotion, Sarge noticed that the explosions had stopped. However, he also heard the breaking of wood and lots of yelling. They were in, and so were more blues. What's the meaning of this? We need your help, Sarge. You have one of the best weapons for these things. Simmons shouted. Sarge started firing at the spiders, killing more of them than the others due to his shotgun's advantage. The spiders seemed to keep coming in forever, and none of the soldiers knew if there was an end to the onslaught. I've got an idea. Griff, I'm gonna need your help, Church exclaimed. What the hell do you need me for? Why not Simmons? Griff protested. Church growled. Now isn't the time for this. Griff exhaled and followed Church into the other room. Sarge had no idea what Church's plan was, but he hoped it wouldn't take too long. Keep firing, men. These things won't stop and neither will we. He shouted. Once we run out of ammo, we won't have much of a choice. Tucker objected. Just shoot, numbnuts. Church and Griff were at the base's main computer, trying to figure out how to contact Tex so she could get to Blood Gulch faster. However, Church soon realized he'd picked the wrong person for the job. You totally should have picked Simmons. I have no idea how to use a computer for nerd shit, Griff said as he exhaled. I mean, your armor's orange. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Church shrugged. I don't know, for some reason it just told me that you knew these things. He continued trying to figure out what to do, even though the one who was supposed to help was just standing there and watching him. Church. Doc asked behind them. What is it? I think I might be able to help. Church sighed. By all means, take over. I have no idea how to. Something fell and hit Church on the head, interrupting him and knocking him out cold. When he woke up, he was in this weird place with an eerie blue glow to it. There were wires all around him, and, wait, wires. Church looked down and saw that he was standing on a circuit board. This was really fucking weird. Was he dreaming? He had to be. After looking around, Church saw something with an icon that looked like a signal. A communication signal, maybe. He went to investigate and saw that he was glowing a bright blue, almost white. His footsteps made no sound and he could have sworn he heard echoes of someone saying something. The voice was male and sounded like him almost, but it was faint and impossible to make out. Eventually, Church reached the communication icon and instinctively pressed his hand against it. He started seeing images in his mind, ones of some kind of interface. Just by thinking, the interface changed. Certain icons lit up or darkened. He had no idea what he was doing, but it was fucking awesome. He couldn't resist breaking a grin. However, soon the interface disappeared and his mind was empty. The area started glowing until he himself was overpowered by the light. Tex. Griff and Doc had completely abandoned Church once the zombie spiders had broken through the roof. His loss was a small price to pay for their lives. Mainly because Griff never knew Church at all. Caboose and Tucker, however, picked up his body anyways to prevent the spiders from doing to him what they had done to Donut. Are you two insane? He's dead weight now. Literally. Griff told them. Doc, however, took a lot of issue with Griff's diagnosis. He's not dead, Griff. He has a concussion. Who fucking cares? Doc promptly stopped talking. Caboose, what happened to the tank? Simmons yelled over the intense gunfire and screeching. They scared me out. Caboose shouted in response. Tucker struck him in the arm. You can fucking blow them up. Why were you scared? You were the most powerful one of us. I don't know. Tucker gave up. He just went back to shooting the spiders instead. However, Griff was getting tired of this and he was low on ammunition. He assumed most of the others were as well. "Men, where do you all stand on munitions?" Sarge yelled over all the noise. "Sir, I'm close to my last magazine." Simmons. Blues. Everyone else was running low as well. "We're fucked, guys. We're totally fucked," Simmons yelled out. And he may very well have been right. However, roars and screeches and gunshots could be heard from outside. The sounds grew louder and more intense by the second, until finally. "Throwing a grenade. Watch out." The reds and blues scattered, not wanting to get blown up. A grenade landed by the entrance to the base and exploded, taking care of most of the spiders. And from the smoke emerged someone wearing black armor. "So, who wants to tell me what the fuck is happening?" Church woke up inside of his own body, thankfully. He had no idea what happened with the computer and the light, but there was probably some explanation. As he looked around, he saw that Tex had arrived and was, wait, where were they? This wasn't Red Base. Were they flying? Church is awake. "Tex, get over here." Tex entered the room, her helmet still on unlike most of the other reds and blues. "Church, are you? Am I what, Tex?" "I was going to say, okay, but I guess you don't want to be nice about this," Tex remarked. "Oh, sorry. I'm just confused, not sure what happened." "Well, the parasites broke through the roof where you were standing and knocked you out." "Pretty simple, not sure how you don't understand that." Church sighed. "No, I mean what happened after that." Now Tex was intrigued. "What happened after?" "Well, after that, you woke up in the Pelican." "No, not directly after. It was glowy, and..." "Okay, you definitely have a concussion. Just sit tight for now, we have a pilot but I'm gonna need to be there in case something happens to him. It's either that or Griff." Tex returned to the cockpit to take care of her co-pilot duties. Church just watched her leave, then looked at all the reds and blues strapped into seats. I guess we survived. Tex saved us somehow." "Griff, did you do that?" Church asked. "Do what?" "Make the call. Get her over here." "I don't know." "Oh, no, I didn't do shit, and I didn't have the will to do shit, either. The computer just kind of worked itself and sent a message out. Then Tex responded and saved our asses," Griff explained. So Church really had done something. He was convinced it was all a dream. Or maybe he was right, and this was only a coincidence. Either way, this whole situation was confusing. There really wasn't any way to put it. Church wanted to know where the zombie spiders, which he assumed were aliens, came from. They hadn't appeared before in all of his years at Blood Gulch. So why now? What was going on that triggered the attacks? "Hey, Tucker." No response. "Oh, I forgot to tell you." Tucker tried flirting with Tex and got punched in the throat. "It hurts for him to even talk now," Simmons informed Church. That sounded like something that Tucker would do. But what the fuck? Church looked around and saw Doc, Sarge, and Caboose in seats. Doc wasn't doing too well, seeing that he just watched a patient get turned into this thing right in front of him. He had his head in his hands, breathing audibly. His shoulders rose and fell with his breathing. Caboose, on the other hand, was blissfully unaware of what was happening. Then again, so was everyone else. Except for Tex, who seemed to know what had attacked Blood Gulch. She called them parasites, which wasn't too surprising to Church since they managed to do all that to Donut, seemingly in control. So they were dealing with alien parasites, which none of them knew a single thing about except that they could horrifically transform their hosts. This was not going to end well at all. Church stood up and took an empty seat, one of the last two. It was next to Sarge, which made the flight from that moment on completely unbearable. So there I was, in the drop pod, ready to kill some aliens, until I realized just how high up I was. The pod released and I shut my eyes tight, not wanting to focus on my current altitude or the fact that it was rapidly declining. I don't exactly remember what happened after that, but I know I was in the medbay. But I survived a fight with the Covenant, and I don't think you can say the same, Blue. Church just looked him dead in the eyes. At least, he tried to through his helmet. I survived more than one, as Tucker would know, but my aim is fucking terrible. That's why they stationed me in some backwater canyon nobody cares about. And I wouldn't exactly brag about being kicked out of the ODST for being afraid of heights. Shut up, Blue. Sarge was getting really annoying, and Church had no idea why he chose the seat next to him instead of the one between Griff and Caboose. Hey, Griff, do you think I should get a funny hat to wear instead of this helmet? Scratch that, he knew why. Did I ever tell you about the time I punched a urinal so much it exploded? This was going to be a long flight. And this is the end of part 3 of this what if. I hope you guys like it. Don't really leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel.